Hi everyone. Sorry this took so long. I know I was supposed to go live yesterday, but I had to go live today because of scheduling with my day job, which those of you who have been in the group know about. And I was going to originally come on here and talk about judgment versus discernment. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, but just based off my day and my frustration right now with my day job, I just wanted to come on and give myself and everyone who needs it, because a lot of the times they do say, you know, teach, but also your students are going to need the same thing as well. So, with that said, I'm here to tell you that everyone really needs to start choosing themselves first, right? How many of us are working jobs that we don't like? We're getting worn down. We're living the same day over and over again, the same frustrations, and you hear the voice, right? I'm not meant to do this. I'm not supposed to be here. I don't want to be here. And you find yourself in the same situations over and over and over again. And why this is because there's a specific lesson, or yes, that we do need to learn, but more specifically, it's because a belief that we picked up growing up, whether it be with your parents or with society, or in school, and you were told that, you know, either basically you weren't worth something, you weren't smart enough, you weren't good enough. And there's all these different limiting beliefs, and they start showing up in every single area of your life. Your finances. I know finances is a big topic for a lot of us. And the thing is we have all these self-sabotaging behaviors, right? How many times have you found yourself, maybe after you read a book, or you listened to a lecture, or you went to a workshop, or you just were self-motivated and you're like, yes, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do this. This is exactly the path I'm going to be on. And you get revved up, right? And then you wake up the next day. And again, the expectation, but also the reality of it as well. If you're not supposed to be, um, living the life that you are living, waking up with that frustration, living with that frustration, you are not on the path that God meant you to be on, right? If there's resistance showing up, it's because you're off course. So really what I'm trying to say is find those areas of your life. And what I was saying before, and again, I am just ranting, I don't even have any notes. I was just saying that when you get so motivated and so ready for change and so excited about change, and then you live the next day, right? You wake up, the motivation seems to go down a bit. And you ask yourself why. You're so motivated, and then you live your life for like the next couple of days, and you're not getting the things you want to get done achieved, right? You're not showing up how you want to show up. You don't have that amped up motivation, that desire to go towards that goal. And this is because we have these limiting beliefs and these blocks within us, right? I just read something today that with our brains, 15% is conscious and the other 85% is unconscious. And this is where the problem lies, within the subconscious, the part that we don't know about. So if you are constantly thinking, I want to manifest more money, I want to find the love of my life, I want to lose weight. So imagine you made, every time you had one of those thoughts, you had a $5 deposit for the day, right? So at the end of the day, you did your visualizations, you did your meditation, you thought about your goal, right? At the end of the day, you probably had about $100 deposit, right? If every time you did something, thinking about trying to manifest your goal, At the end of the day, you had $100. And the thing is, what's going on in the background, which makes up 85%, they're working against you, right? These are withdrawals, right? So even though you spent, say, an hour throughout your whole, 24-hour day, at the end of the day, because your subconscious belief is also sending out a vibe, and it's making withdrawals of, the same amount, the same $5, even when you earned $100 for the positive thoughts, the negative thoughts withdrew about 1,500, right? So you're always at a negative, and this is why it is so freaking hard. Unless you get the lessons, and it's like, how, right? How do I do this? How do I change? And this is why I'm here sharing about Soul Expansion School with you guys, because, the thing is, obviously, I have done it before because I freaking wrote the course. But what's so special about this is that you get to join every year again for free, because sometimes we need a reminder, because sometimes we stray from the path. And even though we may know consciously, that we are God's children, that we are creators, right? That we create our own life. We know about the law of attraction. We know, we can get things circulating in our auric field, and we try and heighten our vibration to meet the match of what we want. But sometimes we get taken out, and sometimes we get taken out for a lot of weeks and months, right? Because of things that happen, and then you forget, and then you fall back into old patterns. And this is the problem, because you have lived up until this point. I don't know, at which point in your life you have received the call to heighten your spirituality, to partake in self-development, self-love, self-worth. But really, we have all these habits and everything hidden in the subconscious. And that's just where the problem lies. So what do you do about it, right? And yes, obviously, the whole 3-month course is about working meticulously and at such a quick pace that it starts to bust through blocks immediately. But if you don't have the time, and you don't have the money or the means to join, or if you're feeling hesitant about the course, what do, right? So there are flower essences to help you out with that. But say you take a flower essence, right? And I'll give you an example. Over the summer, I was taking some flower essences, and I became depressed. Oh, no, wait, here's what happened first. I was taking flower essences, and then over the summer, while I was nannying for a different family, I actually was just one day with the mom and her 2 children at a friend's farm, right? And this friend led us into the goat pen, right? And I noticed the goats were acting very aggressive, and it made me a little bit nervous. So I picked up the baby, and I told the mom to pick up the toddler, and I got fucking rammed by the goddamn goat. And I was, I love animals. I don't even eat meat. And I got my back thrown out, and it was right before I was supposed to go on vacation, and I was taking these flower essences. So with this said, I had an Akashic record reading a little bit after I got rammed by the goat. Hi, Mara. Sorry, you're like jumping in mid-story. So I got rammed by a goat, and over the summer, and I threw up my back, and I had an Akashic record reading, and this was while I was on flower essences. And the woman, who is amazing, by the way, Emily Blatt, I believe her name is, she told me that the goat was there to help me because I had some stuck energy in my lower chakras. And so the goat rammed me and apparently got the energy out. So when you're on flower essences, the thing is, this weird shit starts to happen, and you're like, well, what do I do with this, right? And I became really depressed, and I started listening to the same music I was listening to when I was 15, 16 years old when I actually went through like a depression stage. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it's literally because the flower essences were helping me to release something that was blocked, right? I didn't have finished business from that point in my life, right? From that 15, 16-year-old self that, I was depressed, I was lost, I was unsure of myself. And during this time when I was taking the flower essences, I was feeling very not confident and like I didn't know if I was on the right path. And there was all these things coming up. So that's what flower essences will do. Flower essences, I mean, and you don't have to take one for, your subconscious beliefs, but if you join Soul Expansion School, that's exactly what we're going to do. But if you were taking flower essences and you didn't know what to do with that information, it's very freaking confusing. So you can take flower essences if you don't want to join Soul Expansion School, which I'm here sharing with you about because I'm just so excited and I decided to add something, but I'll get to that after. You can also use crystal elixirs for the same thing, and also you can do shadow work. You can read some books. You can work on your lower 3 chakras because that's where a lot of our limiting beliefs are. They're in the lower 3 chakras. That's where we have our survival. That's where we have our power. That's also where we have our, just our person, like this, it's literally our personality and all of our beliefs, and it's our structure, right? So if you really want to, at the end of the day, gain more psychic abilities or heighten your intuition, and say you're working on that nonstop, and you're wondering, where are my gifts? I'm working on, my upper chakras and they're not coming. And it's because you need the solid foundation to work your way up, right? If your foundation is cracked and it's not stable and it's not functioning correctly, and the energy works its way up and circulates back down, you're going to get lost, right? You're going to get stuck somewhere. And then you might see this with, you might have throat issues, right? You might have chest or lung issues. You might have sinus infections a lot. You might have migraines, and it's because there's stuck energy. So that's something else that you can do as well. But anyways, I'm getting a little bit off topic. My whole point is why I'm here right now, why I'm ranting instead of pulling information from my lesson plan, is because, like, wake up. We need to wake up, right? If there's frustration, there is something wrong, right? Whether it's something that you need to be reminded of to release, or there's something that you need to remember, or there's a lesson that you need to get, right? There's frustration somewhere. And these are why these these people are showing up, right? I wanted to have a discussion about judgment versus discernment and who you should have in your life, but also about yourself as well, right? Judgment is very debilitating, especially when you feel you're being judged, but also you're judging people, and there is a very big cycle. So that's a topic that I'm going to have to talk about next week. But honestly, the limiting beliefs, the lack of confidence, the lack of self-worth, that's why you're struggling in any area of your life, because you feel like you don't deserve certain things. And that's why these people show up, right? That's why your coworker treats you like you're nothing, because in your subconscious, it's only a mirror. You feel like you are nothing. Or, it's your mother-in-law who is rotten to her children, rotten to you, and you see the manipulation and no one else sees it, and you think you're crazy after a little while, and it's not that, it's the shadow, right? So a personal story, like just for me, I don't like anger, right? And I see these angry people in my life and I'm like, what the hell? And sometimes it's scary because you know that when you solve that problem for yourself, either you're going to be unaffected by those people and they're going to stay in your life, or guess what? You learned your lesson. It's time for them to go. So it's a lot of responsibility, but I'd like to make a commitment here tonight, and I'd like you guys to all make commitments in the comments of how you're going to start choosing yourself. Okay? Because enough is enough. How many days are you going to waste? How many, weeks, months, years are you going to waste struggling, being frustrated, being angry, telling yourself over and over again you're going to do something about it, and not doing something, or you read a book, or you start a 40-day practice and it doesn't end up working out, and it's because it's the self-sabotaging behaviors. So if you can make a conscious effort today to make a commitment, next week I'm going to put my notice in with my job. I'm freaking done with it. I can't do it anymore. It is not my path. It is not my calling. This is my calling. This is why I'm here, to help beautiful, amazing women who feel like there's something more in life, that they know they deserve better and they cannot achieve it, and they're wondering why, and they're good people and they're working their freaking asses off, and it's like no one is helping them, and all of the emotions and everything falls on them and they feel like they're going to explode. That's who I'm here to help, home, body, and soul. I'm going to put a link to Soul Expansion School in the list. I'm going to do a bonus in February for anyone who signs up before the course starts in March, and it's going to be all around financial beliefs, what you can do with EFT tapping to get rid of them, what you can do with flower essences, and what you can do in your home to start circulating the money. And you can, I need this, you guys need this, and again, put in the comments how you're going to choose yourself. I'm going to hold myself accountable because I'm telling all you beautiful people in my group that I'm going to put my notice in next week for my job because I cannot do it anymore. Okay? If there's something you can't do it anymore, and I don't give a shit how long you've been telling yourself, even if it's been this week, stop freaking doing it. Okay? You gotta learn to trust. You gotta learn to have faith in yourself, right? In your ability to be a amazing person, to be a creator, right? To be your own higher self and give yourself guidance and to listen to that intuition, because all of you are here because you all have intuitive gifts. You all are on a path, and we all need to start moving forward, because if not, that's when disease starts to happen. Okay, my back hasn't been hurting in a while, and this week I've felt it so much, and it's because the universe is there, like, wake the fuck up. Back pain, you gotta get moving. If not, that's when your body gets stiff and stuck, like mine is right now. So you gotta do something about it. So please, again, put in the comments how you're going to choose yourself. I'm going to put the Soul Expansion School link. If anyone is interested, please come and schedule an interview with me. I am so revved up. I'm so excited. I'm adding in more stuff this year because I am doing a Course in Miracles. So on top of the shadow work, the chakra work, the flower essence work, we're also going to be learning about a lot of A Course in Miracles concepts, which is so beautiful, and I'm so happy. And thank you so much for letting me rant. I'm serious, like, just freaking do something about it because you deserve better, okay? Next week we'll be talking about judgment and discernment, and maybe I should come on here and do more rants because this is me. I talk fast and I'm like, yeah. But if I have some stuff planned, I do seem a little bit slower, and it's only because I want to get this information out to you. So I want to get it correct and I want to get it translated correctly to you so that you can use this, okay? I don't want anyone to get left behind, and I don't necessarily feel super confident just like riffing like I am right now. But sometimes, every so often, I get a fire in my belly, and I'm just like, I need to get this information out, and we're all here to support each other, right? That's the thing. That's why I have you guys in this group. Anytime you have a problem, post it in the group. I'm sure more than 10 or 15 people will come in with love, with support, and with guidance. Okay, so I love you all. I hope this message resonates with you. Thank you for letting me rant, and I will see you guys on Tuesday for a crystal reading, and I'll be adding affirmations in, okay, from here on out. Bye guys, good night.